Hey guys, Pope Sano here, back with another VOD review. Now, it's been a little bit since I've posted a VOD review, excuse me, to YouTube, and I figured it was about time. So when someone purchased another one, I decided to, say, all right, let's throw this one up on YouTube, just to remind you guys that I do coaching like this all the time. I do live coaching where it's like a 1 month style thing where I do once a week for 4 weeks. I do, one-offs kind of like this, whether live or VOD review style, kind of like I'm doing here. So if you're interested in that, join my Discord. But let's go ahead and just talk about this. So we're looking at a platinum Mordekaiser Jungle. And he's playing against the Fiddlesticks, as we can see. Now, I just want to go back here because there is something that I missed. So, as I'm yapping, there are things going on. So come on, Pope, pay attention. But look at this, guys. I just want to point this out real quick. This ward, at this time, like I know you're having your own little jam session here. This is never going to be very helpful for you. There's two things that we need to do when we consider dropping a ward, right? You kind of have wards that are generic in them being like well placed, and there are wards that are, by the way, I just slapped my microphone, so I'm sorry about that. And then there are wards that are, good based on your actual matchup that you're playing into, right? So this ward here is neither good for the matchup, and it's neither good for, just in general as a ward. So what I'm talking about here is like this ward, look at when you place it through about 37 seconds. This is going to expire way too early. Like, you're not actually going to get any information from this. If this ward is defensive, which really, if you're placing it in here, this to me is a defensive ward, and you want to start here, I don't know if you're going to start top or bottom, but if you do want to start on your top side, you're protecting yourself and your buff, okay, fine, but this is going to expire before anything's going to happen. It's a Fiddlesticks. Is he going to walk in level 1, right? So, I don't think so. So what I'm trying to say here is we can be a lot more proactive with how we're using our ward. If we consider what matchup we're into, right, it's a Fiddlesticks. Now, we can obviously see him, but Fiddlesticks definitely likes to start on, like, Wolves, or maybe they start on their red kind of Raptors duo, or, excuse me, red Krugs duo, or maybe they start on their red Raptors duo. No, actually, this, I think, Red Raptors is a very, very common start right now for Fiddlesticks. So, these are things that we should be aware of. And so instead of this ward, like, I want you to walk in here and, sneak maybe a ward on these Raptors. Is that where he's starting, right? Or maybe you're actually linking up with your bot lane and your mid lane or something like that, and you're trying to get a ward into his blue buff area or onto his wolves. Like, those are wards that actually help. This is not going to do anything for you, so... Yes, it's funny to sit here and spam, but, I wouldn't be doing my job very well if I didn't kind of call this out, right? So, okay. I assume, obviously, you pick up a scanner, which you do. You are going to start on your blue buff, which is totally fine with me. I don't mind you starting on blue buff because, pathing towards a Samira and a Braum is actually pretty good. You have Ghost. There shouldn't be too much trouble getting on top of, like, a Kaisa. If you wanted to start red and path up towards a Jax, that's fine as well. But in this matchup, it really depends on who starts hitting the wave. We don't know if it's going to go, towards Kayle here or towards Jax here. So that'll be something that we're paying attention to as well. Okay, so decent clear so far. Good job using your passive to pull those camps together. As you can see, Mordekaiser's clear is not bad. It's not like the healthiest clear in the world, but... not bad, not bad. Okay, so he did start on his bot side, so I'm just kind of curious to see how this goes. Actually, I'll just put this on to blue vision right now. But obviously you don't know where he started. Your ward did definitely go to waste. Okay, looks like you're just gonna full clear. I hope you're checking these lanes right now because I definitely see that there is a very low gangplank in the mid lane. Oh, I just want to go back here, because I don't think Fiddle took a leash, right? Did Fiddle leash? Or did Fiddle get a leash? Yes, he did, actually. Okay. I was thinking that Fiddlesticks did not get a leash, but it actually looks like that they were late. So you should actually have a pretty good idea that Fiddlesticks is going towards his top side, that he probably started on those wolves, or maybe he just started on blue. So, you know, in this scenario, right, you should be pinging, like, even if you have a slight indication where he could be, you should be pinging caution in here. This is what I'm starting to harp on a lot of my students to do. Okay, and we actually see him. Jax gives us vision here. Okay, so what do we know, right? What do we know? We're pressing tab here. He's level 3, 16 CS, okay? Level 3, 16 CS tells us very, very easily that Fiddlesticks has basically cleared his blue, his grump, his wolves, and his raptors. We know that his red buff is up. Obviously, we can see the buff itself. We see that he has blue, so that all stands to reason, right? 1 camp equals 4 CS. Times 4 camps, right, is the 16 that he has. Now, you need to get that full clear off in order to hit level 4. So, again, we have all this information telling us exactly what Fiddlesticks has done. Now, here, for me, this is what I'm thinking, right? First of all, looking mid. This guy's very, very low. Looking bottom. These guys are pushed in. Okay, there's 2 potential gank opportunities here. But as well, if Fiddlesticks gets tied up here, and we'll see what happens, in about 1 minute, a little over 1 minute, his Gromp is going to spawn. That's something we can take away as well. So, a few options here. This is definitely a nice spot to be in our first clear. Okay, there's a nice solo kill here. And it looks like Jax is going to go down. So, Fiddlesticks was part of that fight the whole time. Okay. So, here in this situation, this is kind of interesting. Because... okay, 2 things, just optimization, because I didn't talk about your clear too much. You can be kiting this way more. You don't need to stand and kind of face tank everything, right? The other thing is, after you hit all these guys, you can start walking away. Like, you do not need to be standing here, right? You can already be moving. This guy's gonna die burning to your jungle pet. A lot of these, you know, auto attacks are wasted. Okay. So another thing here. We know that this is warded. Now, we know this is warded because they are Mia pinging you. But we know this is warded for another reason, right? Kais is standing up here. The second that you walk into a spot where there could be a ward in this bush, right? She instantly backs up this way. Okay? That's already telling me, body language-wise, they probably see you. Now, as well, my question to you, though, is like, in this situation, were you... I'm thinking that you were waiting for Tom to potentially jump on top of your bot lane here, and this is why you're waiting. I can only assume this is why you were waiting here, right? But something just to consider, is he going to engage through this wave? Like, probably not, because he's pretty low as well. He's only level 2. And so, the other thing is, like, the only play you're giving yourself that could work here is for Tom to engage on your bot lane. I want you to actually try to cheat behind. Like, again, Kench is in this bush. We saw him go in there. Okay, we have all that vision. He didn't cross through here. We know for a fact. So I would prefer you to maybe try to sneak around this bush up here and get behind them. If Kench uses his E away, that should be fine, because Kai'Sa is still a target. If Braum is walking up, right, Samir has a dash. There's still potential here. It's something we can fish for. So, also, I just want to say, in this situation, if we do try to cheat all the way around, like up here, and Kench engages during that time, then that's totally fine. Now you're behind them. They have no way to escape. Okay? In this situation, I think you've limited yourself. Obviously, they see you, so they're not going to die to this anyway, but just something to consider, right? Now, if you're going to sweep this bush, my question to you is, I think we should... It's not a question, actually. I'm just saying. We should... I think we should be, you know, sweeping the tri-brush as well. We should be sweeping here. Really, at the end of the day, if they see you here, and you're going to stand here without knowing it, like, this is where time gets wasted really heavily. Okay, if you're going to cheat out here and then suddenly they see you from this position, well, that's fine. You can at least just walk away, or, you know, go into Fog of War and base and stuff like that. Like, that's totally fine. You're at least not wasting time in that situation. Okay, so we can see Fiddlesticks doing this, by the way. So again, we know, if we press pause again, Fiddlesticks 20 CS, he's just completed this. That whole time since we saw him here, he's done 1 camp. Okay, what this says to me, we can get massive tempo on Fiddle here. This camp, his Gromp, gonna spawn in about 10-ish seconds, 15-ish seconds, something like that. So that's something we need to be paying attention to as well. So here, it's not bad. Wait, actually, let me go back and see how you approach this. We can still see this Jax is actually doing God's work here. I mean, if he dies, that's not great, but... Okay, let me look at this. Okay, your approach in this gank really needs, you know, a bit of work, my friend. So look, like, this guy, if he wants to escape, needs to walk this way. This is his, basically, shortest escape route towards his tower. He could also walk up this way, right? Because he needs to get around this wall that's over here. Your path... When you're walking in, if you look at yourself, you're almost walking like this. Like, if I were to go back, you actually... I can tell that you click kind of down in this area a little bit. Somewhere in here. Because you almost, like, turn towards that way. And, like, look how much more room you have. Look at all of this room. You could be walking up this way. You could force him to, you know, basically walk into your jungle, into the river there. You know that Fiddlesticks can't respond. And this is actually ends up being why you need to pop Ghost. So let's just look at this again, right? Watch your approach. Watch your body language right here. You're already starting to do it a little bit. Like, look, you see this slight, you were on this trajectory, and now you can see the way Mordekaiser's facing, you're almost walking like this. Okay? Maybe, actually, you might have clicked on him. I'm not entirely sure, right? Because I can't see your screen, but you'll know. And you can see what I'm talking about. Like, this angle is actually huge. Right? So let's see how this plays out. Okay, you pop Ghost. I mean, does he flash this? Yeah. Okay. So you gave him just like the easiest escape possible. What I want to see you do, what I want us to see you do when you're walking into this lane right here. Whoops. Let's try that again. Right here. Okay. First of all, you should be more like right here. Okay, to totally cut him off. We've been over that. But as well, you use your E too quickly, okay? Your E is your tool that you can use after he flashes. You're using Ghost, you're way faster than him. Allow him to commit his escape spell, which is going to be his flash. By, see where you use your spell, just like this. He flashes from here to here, okay, this distance. What I want you to do instead is just walk up to him, auto attack him, Q him, right? You know, auto, Q, so on and so forth. When he flashes, now you use your E, okay? That is the only way to basically ensure that you get him here. I think this is a really good gank to look at, but just again, watch right here. You see your E coming out, okay? Imagine if A, you were standing more like here, and B, if you just walked up to him in this situation, auto attack, Q, right? He's walking this way. You're walking with him as you're doing this type of thing. He tries to flash, then you're using your E on him kind of in this area up here, okay? This is, I think, like, basically 10 times out of 10, he dies. You still even land your Q on him. Okay, but back to the game as a whole, right? What do we know? Again, boom, Fiddlesticks getting harassed, okay? We saw, like, Jax was, again, doing God's work here, like, completely slowing down Fiddlesticks. Look how much you've done. This guy's still trying to do his first clear. So here, it's 4:32. First camps normally spawn around 4:20 after they're taken for the first time, okay? So this is a really important timer to have in mind. I can tell you do not have it in mind because we know for a fact Fiddlesticks is right here. You know for a fact that his Gromp is going to be spawned. What I want you to do here is, yes, like help her shove, you know, this in. I think that's all great. But you need to be now already cheating towards this side and looking towards this guy's bot lane camps, bot side camps. There's also a fight going on here. Double kill as well. So, I mean, you would have basically zero pressure, right? You could be already walking into this jungle. Like, if you were already up in here, they get double killed. I mean, you are absolutely laughing, taking away what Fiddlesticks could do. You're going to opt for the double scuttle. But, like, the reason why this is... So, it's not like this is game losing or anything, but you are pushing zero advantage here, where you actually could have basically won jungle. You could have won jungle right here. You would have got up 4 camps on Fiddlesticks if you went straight to his Wolves, straight to his Gromp, whatever you wanted to do. If you didn't feel safe taking both, that's fine. You take one, you reset, you go towards top scuttle, take that, and then you're clearing down again in the same sequence that you just had. You would be so ahead of Fiddlesticks, all off of what Jax has done for you. Okay, now you're gonna overstay, I can tell. Right, you have 1,100 gold. You've farmed 8 camps so far. You've ganked mid, popped your ghost. It was all good. You've done like good stuff overall for, you know, being in platinum, I guess. But all of this now, you have to keep in mind, these camps now have a lot more HP. This thing has like 7% more HP already, right? This is just going to take you way longer to do. Yes, you're level 4 rather than level 2 doing it this time. But what are you going to basically get that you can't get now in base? Just by doing this. If you were to base here, again, base, spend 1,100 gold. Come back to Gromp, you clear 10 times faster with the items that you've purchased, going back down. You know, your bot lane's winning. You can fight around them. Dragon is spawning. That could be an option, right? The side benefit of that is, you know, that's kind of the side that Fiddlesticks is going to as well. With how far behind he was, you know, wouldn't be such a bad thing to try to meet him down there as well. So all of this is not going to work out for you. And we see here, right, this base, just I'm gonna you know, hammer this home. So basically what you did was clear everything. You know, I'm gonna draw ones. 1 1 1 1 1. Okay, all of this is what you did. Now you walk back into your jungle, and now I'm gonna put a 2 at the camps that you've done. Now these are on cooldown. This is on cooldown. Okay, all of this on cooldown. Not gonna be helpful for you. Now you're basing. Now, sorry, I want this to be yellow. Now you're basing. Now you're going to come out to here, or worse off, what I hope you really don't do is go to your Krugs here. Because the thing is, there's going to be probably at least 30 seconds plus. The second camp that you do, there's going to be probably 50 seconds or so discrepancy in timer. You've now ruined your own sequencing, which in this type of jungle, you know, you're playing the kind of jungler where you can really, like, you can full clear sequence into a gank or doing something, and invade an objective. You're going to be healthy enough to do that. Mordekaiser is a strong enough jungler. He clears really well, especially after you get, you know, a solid item component or so. You're going to see an uptick in that clear. So I want you to keep this tempo, but you are breaking your own tempo by basically doing this type of map movement. These like half clears when you really don't need to, right? I personally think they really hurt, particularly post jungle nerfs. You may have been able to easier get away with it, but yeah. Okay, so again, I wish I had the actual timers right now. I don't, but this, okay, again, so basically worst case scenario here, let me go back to yellow. Worst case scenario here, we come out and we do our camp. So I just for this clear, you basically did 1, 2, 3, now you're gonna do 4. You see how like off timer all of this is? And not even that they're off timer, but the actual direction in which they're gonna spawn in order is off. Not even just that the timers themselves are out of sequence, right? Like when I say that, I mean like not just like your bot side is off from your top side, but I mean like the way in which you're not even going to be able to walk in a line in one direction to do these. If you do clear your third time when they're all up, you're not going to be able to walk in a line. And really that's what sequencing camps is all about. And when we talk about things like tempo, like this is where it comes in big time, because you are just totally losing so much time, right? So it looks like Fiddlesticks actually invaded you and took your raptors. So this is kind of funny. Oh wait, I'm insane. I was busy talking too much. Never mind. Here I am yapping. I'm like, oh yeah, your raptors weren't there. So anyway, yeah, the timer is totally off, right? And it is going to hurt you. I guarantee we'll see that come out somehow. Okay, a bit of a mechanical misplay, I think. Like, just looking back on that, you probably know, like, okay, should probably be hitting that E. So Fiddle's Raptors are up. I'm never going to fault a man for invading. I think invading is really strong right now, because camps are going to be your most consistent form of gold, particularly when it's like two kind of heavy full clear style junglers. Mordekaiser's definitely that type, and Fiddlestick's obviously that type as well. So all of this is good. And we see him bot side here, actually. Nice. Okay, this is really good. This is one of your best things all game. It's one of your best things all game so far. You very briefly saw Fiddlesticks show up on vision here, and you're actually reacting off that almost immediately. We go ahead and we pick up the Rift Herald here. I think this is really, really solid. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. So, what on earth are they doing? I mean, okay, so here, like, just looking at this as a whole, I guess my question for you was, like, were you walking in here because you wanted to shove in this lane, or because you wanted to gank? If it was because you wanted to gank, then I don't like this very much at all. If this was because you wanted to basically help Talia, then okay. I mean, I'm not really a big fan of you being here in general, because, like, again, it's just so, it's very low percentage stuff. You know, in general, even if you do run into Kale, she has her ultimate, or at least she has very close to having her ultimate. She's safe by the tower. You know, Gangplank has a way to get away from you. Like, all of this I would consider being just heavy distraction. I really want us to focus on continuing to farm in this situation. So right here, like, if your intent is to gank Gangplank, then walk around this way, you know? You would even at least dodge potential wards that are in here. So to me, you coming here was to just help push, but you do pop Ghost. So, yeah. All of this is just, it's never going to work out for you. This is too low percentage. Like, I would describe this as a complete, that's supposed to be a 5, by the way. It's a complete 50-50, alright? It's a complete 50-50 play. And at 9 minutes into the game, we can never, ever, ever, ever go for 50-50 plays. Especially, again, jungle's been nerfed. Like, we have to be really on point with our stuff here. So what I want you to do here is just ask yourself, like, what is the consistent thing? Like, this is not going to work, right? This is not going to work. What I want you to do, you can see almost your entire jungle's up. I want you to come in here, take your blue, take your Gromp, go to Wolves, you know, so on and so forth. Actually, how much gold do you have as well is something to consider. You have 1k gold. Actually, this would be a beautiful time to just base. Like, now that I'm looking at this, and I realize, of course, you have 1100 gold. I think clearing would be okay, but again, we want to stay ahead in items of the 7% basically per level that our jungle is getting tanky. And so here, I want you to just base, man. 1100 gold, go ahead and get a big component. Come back out and, you know, come back out. Go straight towards whatever side that you want to go to. You can actually go to either side you want here. If you want to play around Jax, play around Jax. If you want to play around Samira, play around Samira. But pick something and stick to it, okay? So here, we base, we come out, you would clear everything, again, 100 times faster. Your Raptors would be back up at that point. You would then get that full sequence that we want off. This is how you start to skyrocket yourself ahead. Fiddlesticks is getting nothing, right? Like, seriously, Fiddlesticks is getting nothing this game. You already have a good CS lead on him. What is the best case scenario here? Best case scenario, you guys kill Gangplank, and, you know, you get the Rift Herald off, you get like like a plate and a half ish, right? You shove this in, so on and so forth. Okay, that would be great. That's you know, maybe about, like, if you get the kill, we're looking about, what, 500 gold or so? Okay, it's definitely nothing to scoff at all. You know, you would help out Talia a bit, you would put Gangplank a bit further behind. Nothing wrong with that. What is the worst case scenario? The worst case scenario here. We don't know where Kale is, and of course she ends up being here. We don't know where Fiddlesticks is right now. What if he's sitting in this bush waiting to ult? The worst case scenario here is you guys hard lose a 3v3 off of Fiddlesticks ult, off of one decent barrel, off of you know, Kale ulti, something like that, like these major tools that they do have, and suddenly you're completely losing the game, right? So the only reason I go off on this is because I do not want you guys to get suckered in here. Actually, where is Fiddlesticks at this point? He's bot lane. Okay. Oh wait, no, sorry, that's his he's in his base right now. So okay, good for Fiddlesticks. Go back to blue. So yeah, I hope that kind of makes sense, right? Because all of this, you know, I've been talking about like best case scenario, worst case scenario. Well, what's the most likely scenario is basically exactly what we saw. A total stalemate, nothing really happening. Ultimate's getting blown on both sides. And you're gonna get about a plate and a half here, right? Here we go. You got 125 golds. So, oh, and she's gonna die. Okay, I should have played it out to see. So what what happened in this whole scenario? You got 125 gold. Talia, I think, got a bit of gold as well, or maybe she didn't. But look, boom, big shutdown over to Fiddlesticks. I'm glad that I'm honestly really glad it worked out this way, because this here, is it on your teammates, you know, for being a little inty? Yeah, for sure, but this is on you as the jungler. You can't go for 50-50s, right? Imagine in this scenario, alternate universe, right? Talia's alive right now, Gangplank's chilling mid, you know, relatively even wave state. You've at least full cleared your entire jungle again. You would be so far ahead of your current self. So, something to consider. I think overall you're playing well, but easily, guys, the biggest thing that I see in low elo is distraction. Distraction from what is actually going to get you ahead. Distraction and 50-50 plays. Okay, here, I prefer you to actually take your Raptors, Krugs, and then red, because you're basically your 4 minor camps, right? Like your non-buff camps, you want to have as close as possible in sequence. Okay, so you're actually just basing here. So again, this is really, really bad, unfortunately, because we're intentionally desyncing our jungle again. You're intentionally leaving up your camps in the bot side here, whereas you took everything top. You're like your bot right now taking your red buff. Like you're here and you're gonna leave these up, so you know these don't level up sooner. You're gonna get less gold than XP, and as well you've intentionally desynced. This is very common, by the way, guys. Like this is very, very common in plat. Okay, so we're going straight towards the bot side here. Okay. So I don't let me just think about this, like, cause I'm trying to think of like how hard on you I should be. I don't want to be too hard on you here, because I don't think you're playing bad. I just think we're not aware of like what your win con is and what the enemy win con is, you know? Enemy win con, Fiddlesticks is level 6 here. This guy's gonna be ganking all the time. We know that he came from top when he just ulted, and now he's bottom lane ulting again. Yeah. Unfortunately, this is, like, yes, they died to Fiddlesticks ult over the wall, but this is in part on us, too. All of this stems off of, okay, not all of it. A lot of this stems off of us not being prepared in the sense that we got distracted earlier. We're not in the position that we need to be in. We're not as strong as we can be. It's hard to fight this. Now you're in a position where, again, 50-50. Kai'Sa's not even here. Like, Kai'Sa's trolling. Kai'Sa's not coming at all. She doesn't care. Gangplank not coming at all. He doesn't care. So all of this, frankly, you're getting very, very lucky. You're getting very, very lucky that the enemy team just straight up did not care. Kai'Sa and Gangplank. That's amazing. So from both sides, right, 50-50s. And I think all it is to say, in some sense, we need to limit the amount of 50-50s we are taking, play consistently, identify our win con, play towards it. If we do that, we will win in Platinum. You're not going to win every game. Some games you will not win. It is what it is. However, we can control what we can control. If you limit 50-50 plays, I promise Platinum will be much easier for you. You may not climb in a day. You may not win every single game. But I promise it'll be much easier for you. Okay. So you go towards his camps here, but you know, we should know that he's up. Your laners, so this game, right, like there's so much like things that you're getting distracted by in this game to me, that your laners are actually completely bailing you out here. Like Talia and Jax putting a lot of pressure, being willing to move constantly. Like, these are the type of laners that we wish for every single game. They're really helping you out. Because, like, all of this, like, I can only assume that you're wanting to walk through mid because you want this last plate that is on the tower. But, like, I mean, look, first of all, look at your wave state. You basically have no minions here. This guy's full HP. You don't know where Fiddlesticks is. You don't know where Kale is right now. So, I don't know. I just think, like, all of this, right? We're starting to see this become a pattern in this game. It's just so... It's such low percentage stuff. So you try to chunk him, right? Okay. Again, this, like, what you're looking at, this is best case scenario. Best case scenario is you guys land everything. He's still 70% HP. Right now you're kind of standing in front of the tower. Not only that, but you could completely telegraph where you're going, right? So, again, I don't need to harp on it too much, but you can totally see what I'm getting at. So again, like, you're not playing bad, but it's just too many low percentage plays that are completely killing your own tempo. Alright, we base again before sequencing our full jungle, so that's definitely a problem, my friend. But you do get the Rylai's. You do have 4 stacks on Dark Seal, so that's pretty good. Won't complain about that. I think you're going towards the objective on the top side here. Okay, so this is one of the times that I'm definitely going to commend you here. So this is really good. We come out of base. What do we notice, right? Well, first things first. What am I trying to say? First thing first. Yeah, your level. It's because I stopped being clicked on you. Your level, you can see you're super close to level 10 here. That means that you only need 1 camp. That tells me it's totally fine to come topside because you can get this only camp that you have on this side. You'll hit level 10. You're going to be at your possible strongest level before you go ahead and do something, okay? So, I never want you to break your own sequencing of camps just because. Just because you're like, okay, this is good enough, I'm just going to base now when you're standing in the middle of your sequence. That's almost never a good thing. What is a good thing, however, is recognizing that you don't need to come to your bot side right now because A, there's an objective top, and B, you need 1 camp to get to your preferred level here, which is going to be level 10. So close to it, That's going to give you your biggest power spike. So what I really like to see is all gold spent. You're just crossing that threshold for a new level, and we're also going towards an objective here. So this is all really, really good. This is when you definitely can break your sequencing, when you see a pattern like this, okay? However, I would just say you should be pinging your intent. So one thing I'm noticing this game too, you're hardly ever pinging. And so, you know, even while you're on your way, like just ping, like ping on my way to blue, on my way to Rift Herald. Let your teammates know what your intentions are. Okay, good. So we're going to come mid here. Obviously, we want to get the tower. Okay. Here, though, we don't need to drop the Rift Herald. What I was kind of hoping is that because, you know, we see Fiddlesticks bottom, this tower is gone, this tower is not, this tower is 1 HP, this guy is 1 HP. All of this tells me, just go ahead, shove in this, help Talia get tower, and you're pinging that you're on your way top. You could basically knock down top and mid here all in one swoop, okay? So imagine here, if you were just hitting this wave, boom, 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 right here, you auto-attack this 1 or 2 or 3 times, okay? And then you're kiting all the way up towards the top side with the Jax currently there. All you need to do is drop Rift Herald over. It would kill the tower in one shot. You could even wait and you know, as Kale's walking back, drop a Rift Herald, try to fight her 1v2 on her tower, so on and so forth. You know, I think that would have been a really nice plan here. This is okay because you're going to get 2 charges, but you see here, they're obviously going to respond to you. Imagine right now if you said, okay, tower's dead for free, where's the next best place to drop Rift Heralds? Well, obviously, let's go ahead and get top tower. Imagine if you were standing right here right now with a huge wave crashing, dropping Rift Herald, walking in this way, Kale almost half HP, like this is too free, right? Then this huge wave plus the rift crashes on the next tower. Okay, so these are things that we definitely want to be thinking about. And again, I'm not pulling magic information from the sky. This is all stuff that you know. Okay? Right now, Fiddlesticks, Tom, and Kaisa cannot be here. This guy's 1 HP. Tower's 1 HP. Tower, half HP. This guy's stacking a huge wave. Okay? These are all things that we can definitely be paying attention to. So, just a bit hasty. Even from here, if you couldn't tell the wave was stacking too much, right? Even if you just held Rift and were like, hey, this tower's going to die, then by the time it's going down, you would have had an even easier picture to see how nicely this wave is stacking. So again, it's like, how I would describe your game, you are not playing bad. You're not inting, you're not trolling, you're not doing anything that would say, oh man, you should for sure be losing this game. In fact, as of right now, you're winning. However, you are, as much as you are doing nothing to like lose your team the game, you're not doing anything to win your team the game, if that makes sense. Almost every single decision that you've made this game is like the bland 50-50, this could go well, this could go badly, right? You know, a situation like this is great. That was very, very likely that you were going to get the dragon because your entire team is there. That type of stuff, but I don't need to talk to you about that, right? It's just all the other decisions that lead up. And they stack up over time. A lot of these 50-50s, a lot of just the bland kind of, yeah, regular plays that are just like, okay, maybe this will work, maybe this won't. That's the type of stuff that you're leaving, unfortunately, the game in the hands of your teammates, which that's when, you know, things can get difficult. Okay. So we go ahead and we are heading back out towards the top side. I think you're going for Jack Show here. This is all fine. We're getting our camps. Very, very good. So again, right? I can tell though you're a bit like, oh, I'm not really sure what to do. The game is in a relatively, like you're slightly ahead, but it's relatively neutral, or it's relatively even. Ask yourself, who or what is your win con? You have 2 dragons. That could definitely be a win con. You have, let me just pull up the scores here, right? If we look, You have a really fed AD carry. You have a fed mid laner. Okay, let's play around them. You can definitely frontline for them. You're close to Jack Show. So, again, I'm not talking to you live, and I didn't like see your thought process through the game, so I don't know if you're asking yourself about win con, but you're definitely fortunate enough to be in a game where you have a few relatively clear and easy win cons, right? Dragon Soul, playing around strong teammates, playing towards a big item spike. So I want to see you doing that here. Like all of this, okay? All of this is total, again, just 50-50 kind of roaming around. There are no camps up near you. There are no camps up near you. You're not near an objective. You're not near your strong teammates. You're not in a position where you can get the gold and XP you need to get that power spike we're talking about. So basically, all three of those win cons that I just mentioned that are relatively straightforward, relatively simple, you're not playing towards any of them with what you're telling me right here, right? Coming bot lane for 2 minions, pushing a wave like away from your whole team, right? This is never gonna work. Never ever gonna work. Unfortunately, they go ahead and, you know, lose the fight, but this is on you, right? I'll never, I don't condone like Jack's me opinion you here, but I think they're right to be a little bit frustrated with you being bot lane, because even just for the sheer fact that, again, it does not play towards any win condition for you. Now it looks like you're gonna walk up towards the Baron, and it's just too late, right? So again, even all of this, I'm just gonna go back, actually. I'm gonna go back to the point where I think that it became obvious that you weren't entirely sure what to do. Right here. 19 minutes 38. Now let's fast forward a bit. Because it just puts it into perspective of how long we can, like how much time we can really waste. So all of this here, she gets a quadra kill. It's by the time you arrive at anything of relevance, which unfortunately it doesn't really end up being relevant just because they've already taken it. You know, you're looking at, okay, so you start shoving this wave, which is the first thing that is relatively good, I would say. It's been 2 full minutes. If you think about the time that we are into the game, that is 10%. Think about it like this. That is 10% of the entire game that you spent roaming around, not actually doing anything. Okay? And this is not to be like, you know, toxic or calling you out. I just think this is a really good way to actually quantify how we can get distracted, how we can get lost. Now, again, you are playing totally fine. You are playing as average as possible, right? Your score looks fine. Like right now, what are you, like 2-0 or something like that, right? You're 1-0-2. Okay, like your score looks fine. Your CS looks fine. Like on a surface level, it's all completely fine. But you're not actually propelling the game forward. You're not using your advantage in any way. You're not playing towards a win condition here. And, you know, sometimes it's almost like that is the worst position we can be in, right? Where we're playing good enough to make it seem like none of this is our problem. You know, that's almost like the hardest way to lose a game. Okay, so you're gonna run over to the dragon. Okay, you are here for this. We pop Ghost. It was a good E. Okay, you take Fiddlesticks into the ultimate. He goes into Zanya's. Okay, obviously we want to make sure we're not mistiming our E there, but this looks pretty good. This looks really good. Oh my goodness, is she Penta? Okay. Ooh. Now, I just want to point out. Okay, I just want to point out because you know, Samira did just get a Penta. And that means that you were on her team, so it's kind of like your Penta a little bit. But I just want to point out... That's a joke, by the way. But I just want to point out, the literal second that you played around two of the win cons of your team, you're going for the Dragon Soul, you want to get that 3rd dragon, and you're playing around a Fed member in Samira, she literally gets a pentakill. And this is in part off you. You land a great E. You take a good target into your ult, you force them to Zanya's, right? You're playing frontline, All of this is fantastic. You're doing exactly what you should be doing here. You're playing towards your strengths here. This is amazing to see. She straight up... Wait, did she not get a penta? Oh, wait, no, I'm crazy. Kale's not there. I thought she pented. But you know what I mean? Like, you can see the literal difference right in front of our eyes. When you're playing towards what your champion is good at, like, you're actually, you know, you're strong, you're doing well, like, yes, that is how you win the game. Okay, so you go ahead and clear. Finish our Jack show. Have another Blasting Wand. Okay, nice. Yeah, let's see here. You could be fighting here. I don't think you should be running away at all. Yeah, man. I think you underestimated how strong you really are. Like, especially after Kale's ult is down, you know that you have Braum here, right? So instead of walking up this way, I'm wanting to walk towards Braum while still fighting someone like Kale so that he can leap to you, right? He can use his W2. These are things that we should definitely be paying attention to. After his flash out, and, you know, Kaisa kind of kiting back and she's no longer in your circle, like, you should be definitely re-engaging here. Look, like, oh man. We let them walk away. No. My friend, you're very, very strong. Because you have done a decent job at CSing. I mean, it could have been a lot better, but you have done a good enough job. Like, you're strong. This kind of 2.5, 3 item Mordekaiser becomes a complete raid boss. Fight, 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 fight. Yeah. They genuinely can't win. Exactly. You should be fighting this guy. That's fine, actually. I don't mind that you didn't fight Fiddle, just because we didn't fully know where everyone was. But like you see, man, you're strong. That was really, really well done. Great job. Great job. Okay. So now you have Medjai's. Don't mind the Medjai's here. You got 10 stacks. Let's think about this for a second. So we come out of base and we go towards our bot side. Baron is spawning soon. Dragon is spawning soon. You know, okay, I'm not going to blame you for this. They make a very quick Baron call. This is actually really well done from their team. I was going to say, maybe we shouldn't go, you know, bot lane here. They do end up making a good Baron call. Maybe the most I can say here is like, yeah, if Baron's up, maybe we shouldn't be on the bot side of the map, you know? Nice. Very nice. Good kill. Yeah, you're in... Oh, wait, Kale's just ending. Okay. So... everything from here, unfortunately, does end up in disaster. They literally ping Baron so fast, they don't actually even see you. So in general, I can't fault you for them doing Baron here. I guess I can fault you for just not responding to what else is going on. But really none of this ends up mattering in the end. I think so much of this game was led up to just by the fact that we got distracted for most of this game, right? Because like here, I guess when Kale kind of murders everybody, we do need to respond to this, right? She has Baron, it's a Kale. You know, yeah, unfortunate. But I just want to say, look, you played pretty okay this game. Like it was a perfect 5 out of 10 game for me. Just because you didn't do a whole lot to make your team lose. Yes, maybe you should have been at that first Baron for sure. But you didn't really do anything to make your team win. What I want to see, though, is less of these 50-50, just, maybe this will, maybe this won't work stuff. Sequence camps with, you know, with a pointedness. Like, okay, you need to be getting those camps on rotation. After you're done your camps, then you can look towards what you might want to do on the map. If you want to invade, if you want to gank, if you want to go for an objective. I think eliminating a lot of this distraction that I saw from you this game will help you a lot. You did some good things though. I think overall your CSing was okay. Overall, how you approach ganks was meh. It was okay, right? But that's kind of the issue because, you know, they say good is the enemy of greatness. I guess in some sense, as dumb as that sounds in this context, it is true, right? Because you're just playing bland enough where the entire game is just decided by, you know, whether or not your teammates are going to all go and die to kill a Baron kind of thing, right? So, yeah, I hope like you kind of understand what I mean just through some of the examples that I pointed out this game. Going bot lane here towards the end, yes, they made a great Baron call. They did not see you here. It happens. It is what it is. Teams will do that. But I guess really after that, we do need to respond to it, right? Even like, I mean, at the end of the day, it's kind of funny because like you're doing what am I trying to say? You're doing the ward. You're taking the ward while she's taking your base, and I don't know if at this point you were tilted or if you just didn't notice, but to me this kind of picture right here is just indicative of the whole game, where we have, you know, you doing this while your base is dying. It's not that it was kind of this blatant, obviously it's a bit satirical, but it's just to the fact that I think there is a bit too much distraction in this game. Identify a win con, play towards it. Identify your sequencing, play towards it. I think if you can eliminate this distraction, you are going to go a long way because you clearly have a good, solid foundation. And you should feel good about that, but I'm glad we looked at this game because there was a lot to go over here. Alright guys, if you do like this type of content, leave a like, leave a sub. I'm going to be doing more VOD reviews, but if you are interested in having your own VOD reviewed in this way, join my Discord. You'll see a link in the description, link in my channel bio, and just reach out to me, DM me, and let me know that you're interested in coaching. Alright guys, have a great day. Pope out.